On the morning of April 5th, 1933, millions of Americans woke up as criminals. Not for what they did, for what they owned. Gold. Yesterday, it was security, stability, survival. Today, it was illegal, punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Overnight, the government turned the most trusted form of money into contraband. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't a proposal. It happened. And it remains the largest forced asset seizure in United States history. But this story isn't just about the past. It's about a pattern. Because once you understand why this happened, you start to see something uncomfortable. The same logic is quietly reappearing today.
To understand the decision, you have to step into 1933. The United States was collapsing. The Great Depression had entered its fourth year. Unemployment reached 25%. Thousands of banks had failed. Savings erased. Lives dismantled. Entire families lost everything. And when systems collapse, people stop trusting promises. They look for something real, something they can hold, something that cannot disappear overnight. In 1933, that thing was gold. Under the gold standard, every dollar was backed by physical gold, not theoretically, literally. So when fear spread, people did the only rational thing. They withdrew their gold. They took it out of the banks. They kept it close. This wasn't panic. This was survival. But to the government, it was a problem. Every coin in private hands was control the government didn't have. Every ounce outside the system was a limit on their power. So the decision was made, not to ask, but to take. On April 5th, 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6102. All persons must deliver their gold. Not optional, mandatory, within 26 days. Failure to comply? A $10,000 fine, 10 years in prison, or both. Think about that. The government didn't request cooperation. It criminalized ownership and forced a transaction. You had to give them your gold in exchange for paper. Paper people were already losing faith in, and most people complied because they were told it was necessary, temporary, patriotic. And this is where the story changes, from crisis response to calculated strategy. The official explanation? Stop hoarding, stabilize the system. But then something happened. After the government collected the gold, they changed the rules. They paid citizens $20.67 per ounce. Then, just months later, they raised the price to $35. Not years later, immediately. That's a 70% increase. Let that sink in. They forced you to sell, then increased the value. You didn't just lose gold, you lost purchasing power, and that value was transferred to the state. This wasn't just policy, it was a wealth transfer. They rewrote the price of reality after they owned it all. What do you call that? Now, here's the question that matters. Could this happen again? Not exactly like 1933, because the system has changed. Back then, money was physical. Today, it's digital. So the real question is this: what asset today represents escape from the system? For some, it's crypto. For others, it's cash. Anything outside control. And that's where things get interesting. Because today, control doesn't require confiscation, it requires access. Central Bank Digital Currencies, CBDCs, a digital form of money issued directly by the central bank. But unlike cash, it can be programmed. Imagine this: your money loses value if you don't spend it, or stops working in certain places, or expires. Not because you chose to spend it, but because you didn't. No confiscation, no resistance, just rules embedded in the system. And suddenly, ownership becomes permission. The justification? Safety, stability.
control. The same language, different technology. The gold confiscation of 1933 was never just about gold. It was about control. Your wealth is yours until it conflicts with the system. And when it does, the system adapts, and the next version of confiscation may not involve force. No knock on the door, no warning, just a silent update in your money isn't yours anymore. If you want to understand where this is going, subscribe, because in the next video, we're breaking down what comes next.